Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. F-Dash here with F-Dash TV. And today we're going to be looking at a comparison between PlayStation Plus and Xbox PC Game Pass, right? So I want to make sure that our goggles are on correctly. We're going to be looking at this purely from the eyes of a PC gamer, right? You do not have a PS4, PS5, and you do not have an Xbox whatever it's called, Series X or S or XS or 360 or One. I don't keep up with Xboxes, right? But you don't have consoles, right? You only have a PC. So we're going to compare both of these services and see just what each one offers. How good are they, right? So we're going to look at cost. We're going to look at the UI and how easy it is to use. And then we're going to look at the games. And then we're going to give an overall winner, right? So again, this is purely looking at this from the eyes of someone who only has a PC. Let's start with the cost, right? And let's look at PC Game Pass first in terms of cost. I can tell you right now, Xbox is going to win this, right? PC Game Pass blows the PS Plus out of the water in terms of cost because it's simple. PC Game Pass costs $10 a month, right? And your first month or your first couple months is like $1, and you don't need to get the super big, I'm not even sure what version they call it, right? But there's like an even bigger version of PC Game Pass. It's like the Ultimate Pass, the Xbox Ultimate Pass, something like that. You don't even need to get that. You just need to get PC Game Pass, and it'll give you access to all these games that you can play whenever you want, right? And it's $10, $10 a month. Super easy. However, PlayStation makes it really, really difficult and really confusing because now they have 3 different tiers of pricing, and it's crazy. All right, so the first tier is called PlayStation Plus Essential, and it's essentially exactly what you used to have with PlayStation Plus before all this craziness happened and they merged PS Plus and PS Now. And essentially, you get a couple free games a month, you get access to cloud saves, and you get some discounts, right? And it costs either $10 a month, but don't be stupid and pay $10 a month. You can pay by quarter, which is $25 a quarter, or the best deal that they have is $60 per year, which if you do it like that, comes out to just $5 a month, right? And you're going to get, like I said, access to a couple rotating games a month, which you can quote unquote keep as long as your subscription is active, right? And cloud saves and downloadable games, all that good stuff, and some discounts. $5 a month. That's actually really good, right? It is actually cheaper than Game Pass at that point, right? However, if you want a little bit extra, it's literally called PlayStation Extra, and it gives everything that you have already. Plus, you can play, as you can see here, some PS4 and PS5 games, right? So these are not available on the normal tier. And if you want this, you have to pay extra. And then you can download first and third-party games on your console as well. Now, again, same thing with this one. Don't pay per month because it's $15 per month. Don't even pay per quarter because it's $40 a quarter. Instead, it's $100 for the year, which if you break that down is $8.3, which is still actually cheaper than Game Pass. So maybe I'm wrong. Like I said, you get access to PS4 and PS5 games, as well as the cloud saves and all that other good stuff. And then the last tier, which is the premium tier, you get access to all that crap that you already have, right? Plus, where are they here? Old school games. So this is really you get access to PS3 games, remasters, PSP, PlayStation, and PlayStation 2 games, right? So you get all that, and you also get time-limited game trials, which I don't believe you can actually see here. I don't see any game trials on here. I could be wrong, but I don't believe that they exist here. So you can access its game trials, which you apparently can't access through PlayStation Plus PC. So that's a ding there, PlayStation. Now, again, don't pay per month because it's $18 per month. Per quarter, it's $50. Still not a good deal. However, for the year, it's $120, right? And I think we can all do the math on that. If you divide that, that's $10 a month, right? So, yeah, I'm actually a little bit wrong. I think they both have the same core value there in terms of cost. They're both $10. They're both $10. So that's good. So you know what? I'll give them both. So the cost is equal $10 a month. Listen, and if you are a PlayStation fan, right, and you want access to those PS1s, 2, 3 games, then really it makes sense to go for the highest tier. You do have to drop $120 all at once, unfortunately, but it does equal out to $10 a month. So cost-wise, they're both fine. Let's talk about the UI and ease of use. We're already here on PlayStation. This is the UI, right? It's not a great UI, right? So if you want to see the games, you just use this little scroll thingy here, and they do separate them out into like action, everything. You can also add games to like your list with this little checkbox, right? So you can add any game you want to a little list here, which shows up here. Looks like it's your third tile, third row. Then you got play history, and then it breaks it down like sports, adventure, driving, all this stuff, and remasters, PSP, and then also by letter, right? So you can search specifically by whatever the game is called, right? So if you were looking for Hollow Knight, obviously go to H through L and you'll find Hollow Knight. Game Pass has something very, very similar, right? So you can add games to your list as well. You can see what's coming. That's something that PlayStation Plus does not have. You can't see what's actually coming. You can see everything that's recently added. Again, not something you can see at PS Plus. It also recommends games that it thinks you would like based on games that you have downloaded before or played before. It's also great. And then it lists them by order, by popularity. You even get day one releases. Again, not something you're ever going to see on PlayStation Plus. I do also really like this, that it also has EA Play. PS Plus does not have this at all, right? So this just doesn't exist at all. And I think what the biggest plus that Game Pass has over PlayStation in terms of their UI and how easy it is to use is that you can actually search, right? So if I was looking for Paw Patrol games for my daughters, I can literally go into the search bar and type in Paw Patrol and see, oh, okay, yeah, so here's the Paw Patrol game. If I tried to do that in PlayStation, good luck. There is literally no way to search for a game in PlayStation Plus PC. Not one fucking way. And that, to me, is absolute garbage, right? So this UI, it's bad because you can't even search. Not just that, right? So let's say I didn't know what type of game Human Fall Flat Lumber is, right? So I click it. This is all it tells me, right? This is what it tells me. Okay, so I can read, right? So I can see some things, but what does it look like, you know? Where's the gameplay videos? They don't exist. However, in Xbox, let's go back to the Game Pass here. Let's take this game here that's new. I believe it's called Garden Story, right? So yeah, if you just hover over it, it's going to tell you some information. But if you click it, right, automatically you're going to get a trailer, and then you can click this button here to go to the full details, which is then going to give you the details, screenshots and trailers and whatnot. It's going to give you achievements, reviews if there are any, right? All in the same interface. You don't have to go and search on Google to try to find out what the game is and what it plays like, what it looks like, right? So absolutely, to me, the UI ease of use goes to Xbox. I don't even think it's a competition. It's really bad for PlayStation. Now, game-wise, this is going to be very, very subjective, and I totally get that, right? So even it really depends on whose ecosystem you're into more, right? So if you've always been a PlayStation fan, right, then PlayStation is probably going to have the games you want, right? If you really want to play Spider-Man, then this is kind of the only place you can go to play Spider-Man, right? Same thing for Ghost of Tsushima. Hollow Knight you can play kind of anywhere. And then like if you really wanted to play some of those PS3 games, God of Wars, right? This is the only place you can do it. You can play Resident Evil anywhere. Conversely, in Xbox, it kind of runs the gamut, right? It's not necessarily all Xbox exclusives or anything like that. To be honest, I'm not even sure how many Xbox exclusives are on here. I know like Forza's here, but I don't think it's like it even goes that far to say, oh, these are a bunch of Xbox. These are just games, right? Of course, Halo, you got your Halos and all that. So I don't think the game lists are bad on their own for either. I think they're actually both really, really good. So I would say that both have great games. It really depends on whose ecosystem you're more into, right? That being said, though, some of the selection is, right? So if we wanted to look by, there's a way to search here or filter. So all PC games. You could sort by, you could filter by the type, right? So let's say we wanted to just play games that were like racing, right? So we go to genre and racing and flying and apply. It's going to give me all the racing games, right? And these are all the racing games. You get your Burnouts, your Forzas, of course. And as long as you have EA Play, you've got a bunch of Need for Speeds and whatnot in Wreckfest. Conversely, in PlayStation Plus, let's find our racing section. Where is it first? Simulation, kids and family. Here's racing. These are the racing titles you have. All right, so let's remember the Crew because that's where we started. Honestly, not great. These are some shitty ass games, and that's it. That's all they have, right? So for specific genres, I think it's really going to depend, right? RPGs, I think you're going to find an amazing selection of RPGs in PlayStation Plus versus Halo, right? Shooting games, if you're really into Halo, then yeah, you're probably going to find a better selection in Xbox. Fighting games, they actually have very similar fighting games, right? So that's kind of equal. But again, it's really going to come down to whose ecosystem you're more into, right? And so at the end of the day, I do have both currently, right? I'm on a like a free 3-month trial of Game Pass. And actually, let's go back to ease of use for a second, because this is a big one. And I did want to talk about this. I will give PlayStation Plus points for one thing. Every single game here, no matter which game you select, if you go into it, you can just immediately start. You do not have to download anything. You just start it. And it just works, right? You just stream it. While in Xbox, if you want to play a game, right? So let's say I wanted to play Lonely Mountains Downhill, you have to install them. Now, there is cloud gaming. However, you do have to join Ultimate Game Pass in order to actually use it, right? So at the $10 base PC Game Pass, you do not have access to cloud gaming. While on PlayStation Plus, you absolutely do have access. Every single game is cloud-based, essentially. However, there does come with a bit of a drawback in the chance that you do not have active internet at the moment, right? So if you don't have internet, you can't play anything on PS Plus. While because you're forced to download on Game Pass, you can't actually play it, right? So that does give Game Pass that edge there in terms of ease of use in games, and the fact that you can actually play it in case your internet goes down or whatnot. So I'm going to say, again, as somebody who has both, and looking at the type of games that are on the service, I would say my recommendation for which one is a better service, strictly for a PC gamer, it's going to be PC Game Pass. Personally, I'm not into RPGs and whatnot, so that's why it doesn't really bother me. I think they have a great selection of just games in general, right? That really run the gamut between like adventure games and console games and indie games. So I think they have a really, really good selection of games in general, and I just think it's a better deal, better value than PS Plus at its current implementation, right? It's only been live for a couple months, but I'm here to tell you that, again, as somebody who has both, if you're on the table between, hey, which one should I get? Should I get Game Pass or should I get PS Plus? I would do Game Pass, especially because there's like legitimate loopholes that Microsoft is aware of, that you can get their service for $1 for like infinity time, and they're okay with this, right? They're like, that's fine. We don't really even care, right? So I just think overall, PC Game Pass is a better deal for a PC gamer when compared to PlayStation Plus, right? So that's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you have both, if you have one, which one did you go with? Or if you chose a completely different option, right? Maybe you have the Humble Bumble, right? Bundle, and you go with Steam instead. That's perfectly fine. Just let me know in the comments. Thank you guys for watching. If you like these type of versus videos, let me know as well, and we can do a little bit more of them. But again, thank you guys so much. Keep it locked here to tune in the future for more episodes of F-Dash TV, and I'm your host, F-Dash, and I will check you next time here on F-Dash TV. Take it easy.